Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back. I am EBINOTTI, and today we are doing the new moon readings. So new moon is currently in Leo, and it's been feeling, it was good, right? We're like, it's good, it's great, it's been great. Okay, so coming into the reading, sitting down, getting into the energy, we don't know what element we're working with yet. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's going to be fire. New moon's in Leo. Let's start with fire. Let's get fire out of the way. Let's see what's going on with fire since the new moon is currently in a season of fire. We might as well go with that. But coming into the reading, sitting down, lighting the incense, meditating, doing the breathing. The diaphragm is holding a lot of tension. So sort of tight in the chest space. The throat chakra wanting to open up, wanting to clear out, and there's a little bit of tension between the two, okay? So just starting off, there's a little bit of tension in the body, the mental space feeling a little bit distracted and kind of popping all over the place, which is fine. We've been working with that energy since the full moon was in Aquarius, and it's been, so August is gonna be a mental month where there's mental strain, mental exhaustion, but also a lot of mental power. So it's not exhaustion for all of us. For some of us, yes, it's easy to be distracted and swayed, but if we can harness that power and channel our intentions through that power, we get some real progress. So it's a great time for writing. It's a great time for kind of strategizing out a plan, a marketing plan, a business plan, a budget, that kind of planning, strategizing, writing out and solidifying dates and, giving yourself deadlines on projects. And it's just such a great time for that. So really leaning into our creative energy when it comes to either writing or creating. It doesn't have, not all of us are needing to plan and strategize or creatively write right now. For some of us, it's just our creative energy is really flowing, and therein we start talking fire element, where we get creative. Our passions come into play, our genuine, authentic interests. That's what the fire element is about. It's about creating through authentic desire, pleasure. It's your willpower, your ability to produce comes from that energy. And when it's low, oh my God, when it's low and everything out there keeps going, the work keeps going, the bills keep going, the timeline keeps going, it's like, whoa. So very, very important to focus on the internal fireplace, the inner furnace that is the solar plexus chakra, can affect all of the other chakras. So like I said, I'm really feeling it in the throat chakra, the upper third eye chakra, and even the crown. It's been a little bit of tension in the crown. And I don't know about you, but the energy coming in through the crown right now is so intense. It's immense, it's intense, and it's a little bit heavy, okay? Because therein we get into the shadow work of this moon. We've been talking inner child work. The inner child work. But there's also the fear, for some of us, we really aren't focused on inner child work. We're using that energy like we do all the aspects of the soul. But it really comes down to our deep-rooted fears. So we're facing our fears in a big way. And there is where our shadow work is really being done right now. Or there is where there's the availability for some real progress, some real desired progress, which is definitely what the collective is all about out here. We are evolving beyond our personal oppressions, okay? That's what it's all about. To align the feminine, to activate the full potential of the being so we can evolve beyond our oppressive circumstances. Boom. Just like that, nice and chunky like. So there's the copy, there we are doing the writing, putting the words on it, titles and labels. If you watch the collective reading for the ether element, which is out for the new moon, we're focused on what's comfortable and what's uncomfortable when it comes to titles, when it comes to labels. And, our passions, our desires can have so much around it that we really get uncomfortable around these passionate, desired, authentic things that are truly ours, you know? So stepping out in Leo season, brave and courageous, like the lion taught us as far back as Oz, and I'm sure even farther, to be that, to embody that, to face that for our own growth, for our own happiness, our own well-being, okay? So really leaning into, sorry, my chair is slightly uncomfortable, so I keep shifting in my chair. Okay, it's a beautiful day today. I'm very excited to be here with you. We are doing new moon energy, we are doing fire element, and we are doing divine feminine alignment. That's what this is about. If you are divine masculine, that's totally fine as well. Take what resonates with you, activate it in your own way, and evolve in your own way. And if you can do it here with the collective, you are so welcome. Welcome. Okay, what else do I have to tell you? We've got some downloads before we get into the card reading, like we do. But before we get into those downloads, just so you know, personal readings are still available from me. You can email me or DM me. Boom, that's happening like that. There are 2 different reading options. You can have a live call where we, you know, Skype or FaceTime or WhatsApp, video chat, whatever it is. You get your reading based on the time, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you're looking for. There's also the universal option, which is kind of a personal favorite of mine. It's a pre-recorded reading that you can go back and watch over and over. And for me, as somebody who is not new to the game, you know, been doing tarot readings and divination and predictions and alignment all my life, like I'm sure some of you low-key have as well. I love that universal reading because I do have the option to go back and watch it again and again. That kind of stuff really helps me out. So 2 different options available depending on what you're looking for. You can line up to whatever it is that you need from me. I will be my schedule gets a little bit tight at the end of August and beginning of September because I am moving. I am still available, especially if you need me. Please just make that clear and I will make sure to make time for you, okay? Mwah. I do love tarot and I'm so leaning into the personal tarot readings lately. It's such an amazing experience when somebody needs help and the cards provide and I just get to be there, you know, just get to be there for you. And it's an amazing feeling to feel like you get to be there for someone. So mwah, shout out to you if you need it. Now would be a great time. Don't be shy, baby. Just write me, okay? Okay, and getting back to this reading now. So fire. Oh, it's feeling very sexy and very expressive and a little bit toxic, if I'm being totally honest. Like I was expressing in the collective reading that I'm leaning a little bit more into my vices than I am my super awesome healthy life, you know, like my super awesome self. And then there's me and my vices and my darkness and my guilty pleasures, the things that I do that I know that aren't necessarily good for me, but I enjoy them. So we're not leaning into escapism no matter what. We are out here fully armored up, ready to go in whatever comes at us. We are living our lives. We are not being ran or victimized by our lives anymore, not under this moon. We have found that strength or we are healing to get to that place. And then moving forward into whether we're, you know, hardcore, keeping that structure and that routine that is definitely going on out here where people are like, so I'm half and half, so I totally understand the collective being wherever they're at. I'm a little bit of both. I'm like really hardcore in some new routines and then I've got my vices like ride in with me, okay? You know how it is if you've been around, and if not, you'll know soon enough. So no escapism. It's just about the pleasure. We're doing what we need to do right now and feeling great about it. So really leaning into that. It might not be healthy in the grand scheme of things, but it's healthy for me, okay? And that's how we're doing it. So I've got our oracle cards picked out. That's it for downloads right now. We'll go through anything else as it comes up, but we are going to get into the cards now. Oracle cards. We are going to start out with the Crystal Oracle. Dun, 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 dun. All the decks I use and stuff are linked down below. If there's nothing in the description box, just leave a comment and I'll fill it in for you. But you can contact me or you can comment on these videos, whatever you like. I am very excited to get a whole bunch of new decks coming up soon. Again, that passion, that fire element, it's like, ooh, I'm ready. I want to shop again. I want to declutter again. I'm so excited to go through my things and get new things, get rid of things. So freshening the spaces, and really kind of going through the inventory of everything that I call mine. So my possessions, really focusing in that arena and getting healthy. And that's where we get to manifesting. So for my manifestors out there, this moon is a big one. The thing about the lion, about Leo, right, is it's king of the jungle. But not every kingdom, especially when it comes to wealth or value, not every kingdom is built equal. And there you get to be the magician. So looking around at your life, start with your possessions, or start with your, a spiritual alignment, your happiness and your values there. Whether it's the physical world or the spiritual world, really deep dive into that and take a look at the health of the kingdom. Okay, that bird's eye view, that big picture look can really help to clarify some of the things that might be a little bit more challenging, like in the moment, but realistically, when you take the big picture look, the way through is clear. It can be, I am so impatient, so I totally understand when it's a timing thing, how we can get lost in that space that is the time between events. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath and come into a nice centered space. You can light your incense. I'm going to light an incense in a second for us here. You can light your incense, call in your guides, give gratitude, and get comfortable. Whatever you're sipping, cheers to you. Cheers to you. I hope you're in your sacred space right now, even if that's just the vessel, okay? The guides, the ancestors, the ascended masters and archangels that we're currently working with. Prime source, we are grateful. We might not always know what the fuck's going on out here, but we are grateful. Okay, excuse me. Here we go, bottom of the deck. Oh wow, there we are, bottom of the deck. So to start off the reading, our bottom of the deck is going to be a general theme. We don't pull this card, we leave it in the deck. But if you watch the collective reading, it is interesting to see male power with Pyrite coming up yet again. We're going to be focusing again in the mental space, the more masculine elements and traits and characteristics. So we'll see what that's all about. The first thing I just heard is about the money. It's about that money. Yes, wealth, stability, practical things taken care of, order, where expectations are met and made in alignment. Okay, cards are feeling a little, maybe it's me, maybe it's my clammy period brain energy, you know what I mean? But we're a little sticky here. Got our card out. Okay, we made it. Ooh, on the bottom, lepidolite with acceptance. Isn't that beautiful? Like I was saying, again, we keep going back to the message that I've given in the collective reading, so I highly recommend you check that one out at this point. But like I was saying, I've got little brain action going on right now, and I'm totally fine with that. Accepting. I am in full acceptance. It's a surrender. It's a honest alignment. It is a trust in self, a trust in the existence that no matter what, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I mean, it's never okay, is it? You can look at it either way. Rhodonite with talents coming up. These, okay, big decks, they're big decks, you know, and when you see those same cards coming out, boom, 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 you know it's a seasonal message. It's not just the new moon in Leo. Here, again, we are activating new potential talents. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are so many things I had natural abilities and talents for that I had no idea, and I probably would have never found out if I didn't just go with the moment sometimes, follow the inspired thought, say yes to the invitation when the pull to do so is there. It's always like a weird kind of, it's a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's a little bit fearful. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but something in you wants to be there, wants to know, is curious. Curiosity killed the cat. My fucking ass it did. Like, who told us that? What was their intention when they programmed that? Curiosity killed the cat. What was the intention? Okay, so instinctually trusting the self, inspirationally following that feeling. When we are inspired, when there is something calling, we listen. We are listening right now and activating so much prosperity, so much power, skill, knowledge. Like, let yourself become impressive to you. That's what's available to you now, is being genuinely impressive to yourself. The number one biggest critic who knows all the dirt, okay, is you. So really getting real with it. Acceptance first, activation of power second, okay? And that's the shadow work, and that's the dealio. So welcome to the collective of EBINOTTI, divine feminines out here, aligning to their full potential and activating it. Aligning to their truth, activating their full potential, and evolving beyond their oppression, because we are going to evolve, okay, in our lifetime. So this kind of acceptance, here you are welcome, here you are accepted, okay, and divinely guided, because you are here. It's not about my power, it's about yours. It's about your power, okay? Oh my God, so beautiful. So beautiful. Nice deep breath, my love. Really focusing on breath work under this moon cycle. It will do so much. It will do so much for the body, okay? See, the diaphragm has been so tight. The energy is there, okay? We just need to find the channel. Allow the alignment. How did I know that this card was going to be underneath? Man, I wish you could be in my little brain right now. Again, another mirroring message coming off of the collective message. Lapis Lazuli out here to teach us about self-knowledge, self-discovery. This is a journey, and acceptance is the quickest way through. Path of service underneath. Okay. Okay, my loves. So let's pick out our tarot deck here and see what other messages we need to hear about power, talent, creation, where we're at. Just dropped a nice little hair into my coffee. Juicy. Okay. I am feeling, I'm kind of feeling the classics again. Let's do it. So we're gonna go with the classic Rider-Waite tarot deck. This one's a little special because it's holographic. The holographic Rider-Waite deck. So cute. Okay, and we're gonna keep it classic, nice and simple, with the masculine energy showing us that logic is a great place to start. Okay, once the mental can kind of accept, thank you for the message. Once the mental can kind of accept what's going on, the decision needs to be made, what we're doing, who we are, what our real power is, something new. I'm really, really, really feeling something new. Something new is coming in, and once the mental can accept it, the real activation comes in. It's like a 1-2, boom, boom kind of thing. I don't know who that message is for, but I do like it. So really accepting and leaning into the power of the self, trusting the self, loving the self, respecting the self, okay? And that comes from understanding just how deep of self-loathing we really do have for the self, okay? Self-loathing, baby, it's real. And we all have it, and that's what love is really about, is accepting the parts of ourselves that we don't like, regardless of whether or not we are in the mood to change them. Okay, because we do things for a reason, and it might not be a reason we like to talk about or ever express. It might not be a reason, you know, that we even think of for ourselves. But the loathing that we have for ourselves is for a reason, okay? So then make it yours. Own that shit. Own that shit. Your weaknesses, your loathing, own it now so that it can never, ever hurt you again. You understand? It can never, ever take you low if you own that shit. And just like that, you're no longer a victim to your circumstances, to your life. Don't oppress yourself. You know, you don't need to oppress yourself. You can just love and live out here and have anything you want out here. Don't believe anyone or anything that told you different. We do magic, okay? Real fucking magic out here. This is not a joke. And even though I'll say this is not a game, you know we play this shit like a game. Of course we do. Because we feel like it. Because that's the way we like to do it. So that's how we do it. Who the fuck out here is going to tell me? Who the fuck out here is going to tell me any different? 21:12 on the clock, 3:3. And I like that because the energy is I absorb and receive and take at the highest ability that I can. I will listen, but I will still do me, my way. And that's how we should collaborate as a whole. Each of us, two wholes coming together, not two halves. Bottom of the deck, that's that energy. Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire, divine, masculine, master of the fire element, out here to be like, what up? Because I'm talking her language. That whole energy that we just expressed is speaking her language. Yep, that's how you do it, she said. Yep, that's how you do it. You got to do you. But don't close off to hearing other perspectives, philosophies, ideas. There's no damage in that. There's no damage in listening, because then you have a damn good reason to do something else. You have reason. There's that male power, you know, you have justified reason to do what you're doing, and whether somebody else likes it or not, you and creator will discuss that one day. You know what I mean? And that's the only conversation that's going to matter. So have those conversations, not be worried about, you know, what other people think you should do. It's so great to hear other people's perspectives, but you don't need to embody them, okay? You don't. You can do you, baby. Okay, Queen of Wands, showing us how to do it. Very talented, brilliant, beautiful, wields her power, is recognized for it, very respectable, graceful, literally brilliant when it comes to creativity, social expression. Like, just, I idolize every Queen of Wands that I see embodied in females every single time I see them, because I'm like, oh God, I wish I could express myself like that. Or, oh my God, I love when people express themselves like that. It gets me all inspired. I love the inspiration that I get from females out here. So shout out to the females expressing themselves to inspire others to do the same. Hell yeah. First card out, the Star. Major Arcana 17. Woo. Okay, so Leo season has a lot to do with fire energy and the sun, our star, our celestial body. Okay, this is our neighborhood in the cosmos that everything within our neighborhood is within our power to create with, I guess it's really about creation. To create, to produce, to do, to action, that's all the same energy, fire. So here, really lining up to the big picture of what we desire, of what really is our passion, our purpose, our alignment, happiness, contentment, however you embody wholeness. Okay, this is lining up to the dreams, everything that we've created within our vortex. If you're a manifestor, it's huge amounts of alignment to manifestation energy. Lining up to that dream space. This is full allowance. If you see, she's half in, half out. The water bearers, the age of Aquarius, that is this energy. That is the era that we are now in. If you don't understand the eras, you don't know about that. We were in the age of Pisces. Jesus, compassion, Pisces. Yes, cool. The Jesus fish, that whole thing. Oh shit, did I just blow your mind? And now we're in the age of Aquarius with the water bearer. This is about the age of understanding and knowledge, the age of wisdom, the age of miracles, because magic becomes reality. If you take an iPhone back 500 years, they're going to think you're beyond a magician, okay? They're going to think you're a fucking god or something. But 500 years from now, it's going to be the same way. Timelines, okay? Really embodying the big picture timeline here. Second card out, we've got the Four of Cups. Okay, so really struggling in that arena. That's okay. Central energy now. We've got the Fool. Love that fearless bad boy energy. And fourth card out. Wow. The fourth card out being the Moon. And we've got the Four of Cups out here. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of shadow work here when it comes to the honest and authentic desires. Really struggling with aligning to that good energy where everything does feel hopeful. So there's going to be a little bit of a battle back and forth between hopefulness and hopelessness, or just not feeling good. It might not go as deep as hopelessness, but I feel like for some of us, it definitely does. It definitely does go that deep, you know, where it gets really shadowy in that space. But for the most part, this energy, the Four of Cups, this kind of discontentment is coming off of a lifetime of disappointments. Okay, but eventually and always we come back to our true reality, which is magical, miraculous, brilliant. The gratitude that we have when we feel in alignment with this energy is like next level. So that's the manifestation energy that we're using this moon cycle to really bring in that new. It's going to come down to a little bit of the foolish, you know, that positive optimism that we are so prone to, not just as, you know, going into, I'm a Pisces, we've got full moon Pisces coming up, and it's very much so got that energy of tra-la-la, you know, but it gets deeper than that. The feminine, the divine feminine is always capable of making a life that is worth living to the species. You know, that's what it's all about. That's our divine nature, our divine job. It's a duty, and we fulfill it every time. So getting that breath of fresh air, finding that hopeful, wonderful, I'm hearing the motherly energy. So maiden, mother, crone coming up as the 3 cycles of the divine feminine. It's very beautiful. It's very in alignment. But like I said, we're talking the dark moon with new moon energy. So we are going dark. We are deep diving here. It's not always easy. So when we get into the dream space, sometimes it can really, really take us. And then you end up at work. You know, it's like you were dreaming, everything was amazing, and then boom, you're right back into that. It feels very toxic. It feels very hamster wheel-like. And that's not to say that you hate your job. I mean, you might hate that you have to have a job and certain aspects of your job, but it's like you're happy to work and you love to collaborate. And there are things about what you do that you love to thrive in those arenas. And you know, it's just so unfortunate that this, that, and the other, you know, why is the world this? That's exactly what, when we say at EBINOTTI for the collective, we're evolving out of our oppression. That's the circumstances we're talking about evolving. It's like this shit out here would be so good if, and we are so close. We are so close to a new if we could only get rid of this greed and corruption, oh shit, you know, it would just be so much better. And then the likely reality that we will go into another world war or a Great Depression or a genocide, or, God forbid, any of these things, a virus, and on we go. So living our reality, being serious about it, because we do know acceptance is the name of the game here. And our original theme in the crystal deck was male power, which is really about being able to survive, survival of the fittest, doing everything that we can. And then the feminine energy and spirit comes in to say, if worst case scenario, it's okay. Do your part and it will be okay. Fifth card out, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Fire. Big mirror messages coming through again and again and again for the last moon cycle with this Eight of Wands, okay? Quick action, quick connection, communication, resources come in, people, support, things, excitement. What do you need? What is missing? If you can define that, then you already know what's coming. The lack is only the heads up as to what alignment is available. Okay, so it's like, are you aligning? Yes. That's a simple yes. Say yes to it. The door opens. It's like when I was talking before about not knowing what kind of talent I really had, because I would have never gone, I'm trying to think of a specific one. I'll have to come up with one during the moon cycle to remember to say, but I just said yes to a person, place, or thing in a random time where I wouldn't have said it was good timing. I wouldn't have been like, yes, this is the perfect day to go do something new, but it just kind of went down like that. And as a Pisces and as me, I flow, so flowing into these spaces and finding out that I have immense natural talent in an arena I literally never would have stepped into on my own without the influence. There was influence there. So it's almost allowing, there's that surrender. We have to surrender a little bit here to being influenced and trusting the self to be able to discern what is right for us and what is not. Nobody's going to tell you. You can call every friend, every resource. You can get a fucking tarot reading. You can do whatever. You can cast a birth chart, whatever, to answer the question. But in the end, if you're not in the mood to make the decision, it's going to feel like shit because it's your choice. You are making decisions. You are producing your talents. Whether you want to expose yourself or not, this is what's available. Okay, for those of us who aren't ready, that's okay. Get into alignment and acceptance of who you are inside first, so that when you start to produce and express yourself, trust me, it's fire. It's gonna be fire, I heard. Yes. Grab some rhodonite crystal too. Somebody needed to hear that. You've been thinking about it or you like it or whatever. Grab some rhodonite. It's a beautiful crystal. Will really help you to align to your natural talents and open to maybe some new ones that you don't know you have, okay? Bottom of the deck, we've got the Two of Cups before we get into our clarifiers. So aligning to the soulmates, calling in the divine counterpart, the tribe, also all of the frequency. So this has everything to do with desire, feminine and masculine lining up here under, the full Kundalini rising, awakening, ascension process here, divinely guided to align. So this has everything to do with our masculine and feminine aligning as soulmates, the 5 aspects of the soul: masculine, feminine, higher self, shadow, inner child, all coming together as one big tribe. And therefore, if and when you are ready for people, places, and things, it'd be like the Hoover Dam breaking down and just a flood into the valley. You know what I mean? I also heard this stuff can be very destructive as well, which of course it can. You know what I mean? When we have power, we can be as corrupt or dark as anyone, really aligning to the true self here. Because with this kind of power, the star clarified by the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands, whoa. With this kind of power comes, what do they say? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I'm going to take a second to thank my guides, because I'm just going to take a second to thank my guides, because damn, they are really showing up today. I'm going to light some sandalwood for us. This is a sandalwood backflow incense cone. If you guys are here in Kitimat, BC. I get these at Caprice. Oh yeah, I like the lavender ones too. These are the ones that you buy if you've got those waterfall incense things and you want it to flow. It's got to have that little hole in the bottom. I didn't know that for a long time. Now I do. So now you do too. Boom. Backflow incense cones. If you don't know where to look when you go into a store, you can just ask the person, do you have any backflow incense cones? I thought that was the weirdest thing ever back in the day, but now I know it's a thing and that's how you do it. And those waterfall things are like so fucking zen. So fucking zen. I'm so about the sacred spaces and that zen life right now, like literally setting up for myself little witchy corners. I've got plants now, my cat, you know, like each little space, it's feng shui, it's zen, and it's EBINOTTI. That's how I'm doing it. So shout out to all of you who are really enjoying your spaces right now. Remember to give to the collective when you are in those spaces, because there's so many of us divine feminines out here who are living in spaces that don't necessarily ground us, that don't feel sacred, don't even feel like as safe as we want to be. So when we have those spaces, produce that for the collective too. That's the amplification of manifesting energy, right? Is to enjoy something and then, you know, light a candle or have a moment, take a picture for the collective, you know, and just give that energy out to those who need it. It creates this amazing take and give, receive and give kind of energy that'll bring in all kinds of wealth, that will open the doors to all kinds of support that you need. Trust me, the ability to collaborate on manifestations right now is huge within the ethers. So really, those internal furnaces and fireplaces, keeping them stoked and burning, sharing that heat and that food, okay? Okay, back to the messages. So the Knight of Wands is our first clarifier under the star. Once the dream is understood, the purpose, the passion, all of that has a direction, and then you get incoming energy. This is a huge ability, the capability to go in the direction of your dream. So moving like a fucking warrior out here, 100% focused. This kind of energy cannot be swayed by other commitments, by other, you know, obligations, other people's needs. It's almost a selfish energy, but because the purpose has nothing to do with self, it's like for the greater good, the greater dream, the dream beyond just the self. It's very unapologetic in, I'm sorry, I gotta do me. So really starting to embody that energy. This is past energy being our first, we do a 5-card spread. So the first 2 cards can be past energy, and this is past energy. So most of us have already gotten here. I was just making sure that was a piece of hair and not a spider on my leg. Cool. Most of us have already gotten to the place where we are aligned and we are on mission and we cannot be swayed. So we commit and we give to the best of our ability, but we are very clear cut in being like, no, gotta do me. So supporting that in others when others disappoint us because they can't help us out, or, you know, be our usual shoulder to cry on, or our comrade, or, you know, whatever. It's like people can't show up for us right now either because they got to do them. That's a two-way street. You know, you got to respect other people as much as yourself. So that kind of grace and leniency is not just for ourselves, it's for our partners, it's for our family members, it's for our tribe. Okay, we have to give that kind of grace to others if we expect it for ourselves, and not just other people giving it to us, because we can't control that. We have to give it to ourselves. Okay, so if people want to be upset with us, we have to allow that and respect that from both sides. It's hard when it's family, it's hard when it's friends, it's hard when it's a boss or peers or co-workers, but mission is always going to trump, okay? Because this stuff isn't just about like small petty desires. This is the purpose of your life, the dreams of your being, your heart, your soul. Okay, so it's really soul calling stuff. Ooh, okay, I get it. I get this kind of dissatisfied energy. The Four of Cups clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. We are very much so feminine masters of the earth element, And it can be very, very frustrating when our path takes us somewhere that does not feel as mastered or stable or strong, even capable, even, abundant or wealthy. It's like we don't feel in our reality that necessarily it reflects the value that we have inside to give. So this is a huge message that's been coming through for the collective divine feminines for a little while now, where it's really unfortunate to have a good job where you are not able to give what you need to give because it's your talent, it's what you have, and if you're real with yourself emotionally, it's what you need. You need a space to give your talent where it is received and also needed, because that does exist for you. So because it exists, you have to align to it. It's very challenging right now out here for the divine feminine career women, trying to decide whether or not their job, their career path, their industry is for them. So taking the time to really assess, can you shift? Can you internally shift your perception in your career instead of walk away from it? This is not the energy of throwing it to the wind like we're about to do centrally with the Fool. This is the energy of really taking a good look at something and seeing if there is not a way that you can produce to your potential here. A small shift, a pivot. This is the pivot, baby. The pivot. It's so crucial in your journey is to be able to pivot something to make it work for you. Where are you going? Nowhere. I'm sitting right fucking here until this shit gets sorted out. I like it. Very strong, very grounded, very honest. Keep your pride in check. There's that shadow work. Keep the ego in check. Integrate the ego. Integrate the shadow. It is yours and you need to hear what it has to say. You have to respect it and you have to understand it. Allow it to speak to you, whether you want to hear it or not. And then have that conversation with it. Okay, let's get out our clarifiers for our central and our last two. We got the Knight and the Queen side by side here under the Star and the Four of Cups. I mean, we are in warrior mode. We are in kingdom ruling mode, which means what really matters and what really needs to be focused on is our own internal world. What we're doing and why and how we feel about that. How successful is it? Is there anything that we can pivot, shift, or do we need to, like the Fool, pack our shit and head out? Oh my God, excuse me. The biggest tickle ever in my throat right here as I said it. So big message coming in, because I don't want to give the advice that you should be spontaneous and wild and walk away, cut it off, cord cut, because that is your decision. And you as a divine being will choose those things. I encourage spontaneous action and fearlessness with an aligned being. Okay, and that's the key until you really accept, and I know because these are your undercards that you have not yet. The dream has come in and clarified itself, but that is where the physical reality is becoming in conflict, okay? It really sucks out here. Financially, passionately, it's like you ain't got none of it. And really feeling that need to align or that need to grow, or somebody, in the family feeling that energy, someone you care about feeling that energy. And it's time to shift, to pivot, or to completely go in a new direction, fearlessly into the unknown, because it's better than staying here, I just heard. Whew. Hell yeah. You only got one life. It's yours. You can accept your reality. You can accept your fate, or you can change it. You can seek it out. It's so interesting on the things that we victimize ourselves as fate Do you know what I mean? Oh, well, it's my circumstance. Oh, well, that's the oppression we're talking about evolving out of. It is not your circumstance. It was. It doesn't have to be your circumstance. It could be your past circumstance. It could be the stone that you leapt from, the cliff that you dove off of, you know, metaphorically. I used to like cliff jumping quite a bit, actually, when I was a kid. Okay, centrally, I like it. We've got the Fool just wants to be out here. The Fool clarified by the Queen of Cups. Now here, side by side, we've got our queens, earth and water, both feminine. So divine feminine masters of the two feminine elements. Beautiful. Coming in around this Fool, which is this fearless energy that we can face down the unknown. There's the facing our fears, because we absolutely have the skills, the talent. For those of you where this is starting a business, launching your YouTube channel, your small business idea, your huge product business idea, whatever it is, this is your sign that yes, you are ready. No, you don't have to do anything else. It's always, you're never going to be more ready than you are now. That's that message. If you're ready to take the leap, because you are, you absolutely can. Be grounded, be in alignment with your authentic desires, and you will be just fine within this space. We do get into a darker energy with the moon coming up here, so we're going to see what that's about. I'm very curious because I know that has a lot to do with this message. But so far in the underworld, in the subconscious, even in the dream space is very active right now. Within the ethers, there is a lot of energy out here because the support is very, very real. The warriors are out here to support the ancestors, other divine feminines. I mean, we've practically got the kingdom out here. Starting off with that male power, we really get that emperor-like energy. So handling it. We are handling it. Okay, the moon. Let's see. The moon. Ooh, in reverse. To clarify the moon card, we have the sun. Most positive card in all of tarot, even if it's in reversed. Okay, so we here are going through the veil to understand it's gonna be some really well-rounded experiences here. Okay, so this is the kind of alignment that really brings in ascension, because we grow when we come to these kind of understandings, when we go through these cycles. This is a big cycle in your life that you're going through here. The moon and the sun side by side, the divine masculine, divine feminine, playing like they do in the sky with each other. Okay, and we are just a very small part of that neighborhood of energy. So doing our part, aligning the self. Yes, there is struggle. Yes, there is darkness, but we are fearless out here. We are masters out here, you know, and there's only one way to master something, and that's to really stand in front of it and give it your fucking all. And every time you fail, you try again. Dust yourself off and try again. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Aaliyah, RIP to that goddess. It's so crazy, because if we could have conversations in the ethers with them, oh man, the information that they'd have for us though. Could you imagine Aaliyah in the era of YouTube? Oh. Totally aligning to that. What a beauty. Okay, we're getting our final clarifier for the fire element. New moon in Leo. Fire on fire on fire. I just heard with the sun out here doing what it does in its cycle. The moon is doing all kinds of fun supermoon stuff this month. So at the end of the month here, the full moon in Pisces. It is the supermoon, which means it's very close to the earth. So it's going to be big and gorgeous in our sky. Ooh, okay. The Eight of Wands, our final card in our spread, clarified by the Six of Wands. Whoa, the fire though. Okay, so there's the need for validation, the need for people to recognize and appreciate and use our talents, like to not be used. It's so unfortunate how many of us get used, and then it puts us off, giving or being used in the way that we need to be used, because there's a whole new kind of, unsatisfied energy in outputting, and not getting the reception. Like, it's like the more that you put out, the less it's appreciated or seen or understood. So we need to, when these opportunities are coming in for us in the next 2 weeks, understand the moon cycle is 2 weeks, and then we got full moon energy where this starts to interact differently for the 2 weeks after until the next new moon. Okay. Understand that as all of these things here come in, all of the alignments, all the energy, all of the resources, the people, the places, the things, it can get very overwhelming. It can get very, very overwhelming, but it can also be something that we need to shift. Here's a pivot that might be really uncomfortable, okay? Because I can totally relate to being in a family where you're not understood, or being in a work environment or a school environment where it's like, it's heavy judgment out here, observation. You are always being observed and analyzed and graded, and you know what I mean? Every time you see them, it's like, so what have you done? So what's going on? So what's new? So what's, you know what I mean? So when we are in those spaces and our talents cannot be received, but we come into alignment, all of that starts to shift. And it's really important that we allow this shift, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, because we need to produce in an area where our talent is needed now. Do you know how weird it was for me to shift out of the idea of wanting to be like a Fortune 500 CEO or, running some huge, successful, multi-million dollar business, into being like, I read tarot cards now. Kind of weird, right? Like, it's like, I'm like, ooh, like, do I want to be like, I love hippies and I love, Wiccans, paganism, witches, earth stuff, grounded cultures and ancient philosophies and alignment. And I love all those things, but I'm like, that's not just me though. That's not all that I am though. What I am is actually something far more sophisticated, clean cut, elegant. Like, I really like some pretty linear structure stuff. So there's a weird kind of coming together and finding your out. You might not necessarily be like comfortable going in that direction, but that is the direction that's going to take you where you're actually going. It's the most straight. It seems like going way off in the other direction to come like to where you're actually trying to get, but really it's like, here's point A, here's point B, and you're doing the shortest distance between the two. So that's where trust and faith comes into it. That's where acceptance of whatever your spiritual connection is, and self-knowledge being very important there. If you're curious, what energy is guiding you to the short route, you have to really understand kind of who and what you are aligned to be able to trust that. So asking for that clarity, that understanding, that self-knowledge, so that you can be on path. On path is shortest distance between 2 points, where you're trying to go and where you are. Okay, let's see, bottom of the deck. More fire with the Four of Wands. Look at that. This is exactly where we're trying to go. Okay, all of the things that build our four corners of stability, something worthy of us throwing a party to celebrate. Okay, so really understanding where we are in conflict, because it's like, I'm hearing it again, the math ain't mathin'. How you want to be a multi-millionaire business owner and then go read tarot. Like, that's not even close. You know what I mean? But I don't care if the math ain't mathing, because guess what? I know exactly who I am and what I'm called to do when I am on path. I have every faith in the world that 4 corners of stability, the pillars in my life, they're there. On path, in existence, mine, for the taking, already here, already created, just needed to align, and opening the doors, walking down the path to your event, whatever that event is. I love that. That's totally my vibes. Okay, I'm gonna have a little sip here. Take a nice deep breath, look at the cards. Third eye is very active lately. And we'll see what other messages come through before we wrap. Third eye is very active. Have your eyes been bothering you at all? Need to do some clearing within that chakra. I'm gonna find some good crystals for us to hold on the third eye. Maybe while we're sunbathing or something like that. I'm actually being called right now to the golden healer. Got a little piece of it right here beside ya. The golden healer, such a beautiful stone. I think all stones are beautiful, but I mean the energy. So I love palm crystals where you can like really nicely hold them. And this one goes like perfectly in my little, you know? So all different shapes for palm crystals, but I highly recommend just keep it in your purse or in your pocket, and then you can just hold it. You know, it's like having a drink at a party or coffee at an event. It's that thing that you hold and sip when you don't know what the fuck else to do with yourself. Anyone else is as awkward as me socially? I mean, I'm great. I always pull it off. I learn to act and sing and dance and blah, 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 like we entertainment types do, but I'm most comfortable in safe spaces with small groups of people, you know? Like, I'm totally a hippie when it comes to the event space. But that being said, I want to do massive retreats, events. It's going to be so awesome to do these programs with you guys. I have a divine feminine alignment program coming out very soon. I am uber excited. I don't have a date on that one yet because timing is fluid. So we'll see. As soon as it's ready, it's going to be out. That's for sure. Check me out, EBINOTTI, on Instagram if you want to see other content. I'm going to be doing live, I don't know. We're doing live something and soon. So make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff if you want to see more content. There's going to be some new stuff coming out. As always, we'll be doing the tarot readings and the elementals for the moon cycles, and then things like the fall equinox is coming up. So we'll do something for that. Make sure you check out the Lionsgate portal, the 8/8 Lionsgate portal reading. If you haven't yet, that one is still very, very relevant, okay? Because we're in Leo season and we're not into the fall equinox yet, which is, like I said, going to be the next big one. That's it. That's fire in the bag. Let's see, because I'm not quite ready to get out of here yet, and I'm not sure why. So let's see what else we got. Okay, let me be serious here. Let me be serious and look at what's going on here. Okay. So in a lot of ways here, it's very important to lay thy burden down. I just heard it so funny. The guys are so awesome. Lay thy burden down. Yes, baby. Also, can we talk about the power? I'm sorry, I have to get it out of my face. Can we talk about the power? The star. Sorry, I know you can't read them. The star, the moon, the sun, all out here. Major arcana, all out here in one reading for you, your reading. Can you imagine? The celestial bodies, the alignment of our planets energetically doing what the fuck they do out there is so beyond us. Let's be real, okay? It's so beyond us, but spiritually, the activations available to us are next level, miraculous, new, never before. And that's specific to some of us. The coding for some of us is going to be one only one. You're the only one in the collective that got that code. And it's yours to do with what you are going to do with it. You know what I mean? Thank you for being part of the collective. Clearly, you're fucking awesome. But these are activation codes for the entire collective. These are huge activations of your potential, your power, your wealth, your health. When it comes to power and when it comes to wealth and abundance, these are all arenas. Okay, so the type of alignments are going to be so specific to each of us. That's why faith is so important. That's why facing down your subconscious, your deepest fears and your traumas are so important. And understanding that not only are you not alone in it, you have this whole collective here. You've got everything within the ethers that is yours. So you have your cosmic family. I just heard the cosmic fam is out here to be like, bitch, you are not alone. So tuning in a big way to other divine feminines, masculines, ascended masters. Our own personal spirit teams are out here in a big way. The ancestors are, can you feel it? Can you feel how much the bloodline is out here? You can be a fucking orphan, don't know even where your bloodline is from, and can you feel it? Can you feel them here? Super intense. If you can't, you need seek only your own internal wisdom. That's the star he carries there. The hermit carries the star within his lantern. That's what guides him in. He goes in, okay? So really taking the time, really taking rest, rejuvenate, refresh, reset, okay? Especially when it comes to the mental space, giving it the time and peace that it needs. The downtime, the uptime, the zen time, whatever kind of time you need right now, it's very important to take that time. That's it. We're going to leave that one right there. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. It really helps circulate these videos on YouTube and let the algorithm know that we are liking it. We want more people here. Come. Okay, so thank you for everything that you do for you, for the collective, your collective, and this collective that you are a part of. I think you're fucking magnificent. I can't wait until we can all line up in reality and do some amplification manifestations. I can't wait to do retreats. It's going to be so much fun. But don't worry if that's not your thing. There's going to be all kinds of things coming out from EBINOTTI, the collective. We're doing it a little culty. I'm calling it Cult E. Like the cult of E, culty. Oh, so she's so clever. My inner child's just like, it's amazing, right? We're doing it a little bit culty because it really is about choosing for thyself, you know, what is best and understanding. And these philosophies out here got it all backwards now. Or everyone's saying the same thing and nobody can see. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm going to go because it's starting to get weird. I love you so much. I will see you on your next reading.